Hello, I'm Mark Lester, director of Commando and Class of 1984. Welcome to Cannes.
No Watcher, No Watcheuse, je ne suis pas ce n'est pas sans émotion que j'ai à ma droite Mark Lester, illustre réalisateur pour toujours de Classe 1984 et de Commando, et de plein d'autres derrière évidemment, mais ce sont ces deux-là qui nous ont marqués à jamais dans les années 80. Il est là, Mark Lester, au marché du film à Cannes avec sa société American World Pictures pour vendre, sorry for my accent, pour distribuer pas mal de films. Voilà, il est là à ma droite. Interview en anglais. Mark Lester, hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm perfect and I'm a bit moved to be just next to a living legend, a living icon.
Thank you, appreciate that.
I'm not kidding. For a start, can you just tell us what American World Pictures is about and what are you doing here in Cannes at the market, and what kind of movies do you distribute?
Yes, American World Pictures, we started in 1993 at Cannes, and we're now the oldest company here. And I started this company after Showdown in Little Tokyo with Brandon Lee and Dolph Lundgren, and decided to start an independent film company to make films. And the first 15 films we made with Lionsgate Pictures, and I did The X, Misbegotten, Double Take, The Base, Base 2, Blowback, Sacrifice, a whole lot of movies that I directed myself, and they were all put out through Lionsgate in the States and around the world. And we've subsequently become a major independent film distributor and have released hundreds of movies into the marketplace, of which are doing like many independent films of all kinds, from dramas to action to comedies. So we have the whole distribution company to promote independent producers' films and directors' films around the world. And we've come here as one of our markets to sell the films to foreign distributors around the world, and also to U.S. companies that we meet with here. And then we also have our production division, of which we're making television movies and other types of movies we made for Science Fiction Channel that's also played in every country. Yeti, Lost Colony, Sinbad and the Minotaur is airing next week, and will be airing all over the world on NBC Universal pay stations in Great Britain and France, all over. We're also making our own science fiction movies. We have Sand Sharks, which is like, yes, it's like everyone loves the artwork, which is...
Il nous montre le artwork.
Yeah, see, it's Sand Sharks. Hulk Hogan's daughter's the star, so it's...
Hulk Hogan, the big guy with the mustache.
But she's incredible looking.
Yes, is she here? Is she here?
Not here, no.
Too bad.
And she's going to be eaten by a sand shark. Spores, which is about killer spores that get in the air. It's like a cabin fever type movie. So we're doing our own productions like that, and we're opening up a new division that's going to do, bigger pictures with some bigger stars, art type films.
With Class of 1984 and Commando, you directed two of the most cult movies of the 80s. Are you aware of that? And do you still get some, feedback just like mine?
Yes, everywhere I go, people know every line of Commando. Every party I was at here, the minute somebody says, "Oh, he did that," everybody comes up to me and they know every line from the movie. And they were powerful films, and I want to do some more, so I'm developing some more properties. I may remake Class of 1984, because that's the one I own the rights to. Commando is being remade by Fox, and Firestarter I made is being remade by Universal.
Really? And what's the status right now of this project?
I have to get into scripting now. I was working on developing the idea, because it has to be what that film predicted of violence was prophetic. And after Columbine, and even in Europe they have incidents, it's the film never imagined how bad things could get. And if you watch the film today, it's tame, so I have to bring it into the modern age.
For Commando, did you just say that it is being remade by Fox?
Yes. In fact, I was on the plane last year from Cannes, and I was sitting next to the president of 20th Century Fox.
Tom Rossman?
No, one of the presidents. And he gave me his card, and I said, "Oh, I want to buy the rights to remake Commando. I'll give you $5 million right on the spot here." He said, "What? Why would you want that movie? We don't know anything." And I said, "Well, it's a cult movie. It's on every internet, millions of fans. They know every line." He said, "What?" So he said, "Give me a call when we get back." And it was announced the next day when he landed, remake of Commando.
Can't believe that.
I don't own it. I was trying to buy the rights. So I don't even think the studio themselves were aware of how powerful the movie was, how important it was.
So now this project is out of your hands. Is that what you're telling?
I was hired as a director at the time, and the same thing happened in Firestarter. It was Universal hired me, so they own it. So typically in these remakes, they hire another director and bring them in.
Did you keep in touch with Arnold, for instance?
Yes, yeah, I've seen him. You know, he's been mostly governor, but I haven't seen him recently.
And do you believe in his coming back to the business, to the movie business?
Yes, I think he will. I think he loves it. I think he'll be back in parts, and I'd like to find something for him myself to star in. Be a great reuniting.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Class of 1984. What kind of memories do you keep now from this movie, from the shooting, from the set? I don't know. Any anecdote that still pop up to your mind now? It was such a violent movie at this time and very impressive.
Well, when Perry King saws the boy's arm off, I thought, oh, this is going way too far. You know, it'll never succeed. And then people love it. It's like they scream during that scene. And then interesting, I was telling a producer here, the distributor of the movie was a man like Mark Damon, and he's here at the market. And we were talking, and I reminded him that the end of the film, that Timothy Van Patten character commits suicide. In my original ending, he lets go.
That's I didn't know that.
Yes, and the distributor here at the Cannes said, you'll make so much more money if he kills him. So I went back and I reshot the teacher killing him at the end.
Which made a small controversy about this movie, because now a lot of people say it's a great movie, but it's kind of like, you know, a typical Ronald Reagan era movie, right-wing movie, you know, the good teacher versus the bad pupils.
Ronald Reagan saw it and liked it, because in Time magazine he actually said schools can become like that one in the class of '84, and they had a picture from the movie in Time magazine.
Dear Ronald, we miss you. And what about Commando? How was this shooting? Was it tough? What memories now do you keep from this shooting?
Well, it was easy to shoot, but I did get confused about Schwarzenegger. Like, there's a scene where he holds the guy off the cliff, and the famous line where he says, "I lied." The night before, I called Arnold. I said, "Now, Arnold, you pick up this character Sully, and you walk across the street holding him, and then you're going to drop him off the cliff." And I said, "You're able to do that, right? Because you lift 400 pounds. He's a small guy. He weighs like 180. He says, "That's ridiculous." He says, "I can't hold a guy like this while you're shooting by his feet over a cliff, over a mountaintop, and I can't walk across the street holding someone like that." I says, "But you lift weights 400 pounds. He says, "That's weights like they're balanced and I'm on a weight thing, up and down, but not a man walking. That's absurd. No one can do that, a human being." I go, "Oh my God." And it was like we were shooting the next day. So I called a crane company, and there's a crane company shows up the next day, and that whole scene, Sully is like hooked up to giant cables and to a crane, and the crane is driving across the road. So you just see, you know, it's faked.
I'm so disappointed.
Right. And so Arnold never carried him across the street, and he never holds him over that thing.
You just destroyed the illusion of millions of viewers.
That's right, because Arnold, everyone thought he was like a Superman with weights and muscles, and he could do all this, but certain things have to be in line with balancing. I didn't know myself. So that was a funny little thing that happened.
Okay, and one last question. Do you miss, directing a big action movie directly released on screen in a,
Yes.
by a major?
Yeah.
And do you think you can...
I'm going to recreate something and get it out there again. The world's different now, because those action movies now need to be $50 million with CGI and like huge productions.
There's no more room for, mid-range.
That movie was a $10 million film. I mean, probably costs $100 today, but they'll probably spend that on a remake. But back then there was no CGI. Everything's done right on the set. So
are you writing something?
Yes, I'm working on some projects. So
that's great. Well, we were very happy to meet you, Mark. Good luck for this Cannes.
Thank you so much for coming.
Pour la postérité. Thank you.